Never be fooled by the promise of a tax that hits some Americans, but not others. It will become a tax on all productive Americans in good time. Here to discuss is Georgia Republican Congressman and a member of the House Committee on Appropriations, Tom Graves. Congressman Graves, it's a pleasure. Welcome here.
Good to be with you. Thanks for letting me join you.
You are a serious believer in the Constitution, in small government, and in the sound dollar. But not all of your fellow Republicans agree with you. They caved on the Patriot Act. They caved on raising the debt ceiling. They caved on some of the crazy spending programs, the continuing resolutions that the House enacted. Will they cave on this?
Oh, on the tax warfare that the president's proposing?
Yes.
I would hope not. I would hope not. Now, let's just put it in context. He likes to talk about Buffett, but if you were to tax 1,600 billionaires 100%, you still wouldn't eliminate the deficit spending that's in Washington. That's how big it is. So it's just, you know what he's doing? He's putting employers against their employees. It's class warfare at its greatest, and the president has declared it.
Will the Republicans fall for it? Stated differently, will John Boehner go over to the White House and come back with some kind of a deal? A little of this, a little of that. Just like he did with the which I know you voted against it, for the $2.4 trillion debt increase that most Republicans voted in favor of 2 months ago.
Well, I would hope that our leadership would not go after tax increases. They've made it clear that they're not for tax increases. But what we should be for is a better economy, right? The economy growing. That's where the revenue needs to come from. And I'll give you an analogy. My son, who's 11 years old, he said this to me. We were negotiating allowances. He said, "Dad, I don't understand it. Why would you pay me to do something I should already be doing? Doesn't that take away from something that Mom could be buying groceries
with?" He's a very honest young man.
He gets it. The pie's only so big. So then he follows up and he says, "Dad, wouldn't it be better if I made something and I sold it? I could add to the family." He understands that you can make the pie bigger. There's more to go around. We don't need to keep cutting the pie up through this class warfare. Let's make the pie bigger. Let's grow the economy.
All right. In the past 10 days, the president has proposed 2 sets of tax increases. One to support the so-called jobs bill, which is an increase in everybody earning more than $200,000 as an individual or $250,000 as a couple. Today, this nonsense about the millionaires' taxes. Because they are tax increases and because most Republicans in the House are dead set against tax increases, Congressman Graves, are both of these proposals dead on arrival in the House of Representatives? Can we sleep tonight that taxes are not going to go up?
I would hope that everybody can sleep very well, that the House Republicans don't stand firm against tax increases. But you know what? I mean, the House Republicans are standing against tax increases. The president's saying we've got to have tax increases. How do you reach an agreement? I have no idea. But you know what? We've got to do something for the American people. They deserve it. You know what? We've got to cut spending.
Do you think the president wants long-term prosperity, or do you think he wants to see some prosperity and some new jobs between now and, shall we say, November 2012, his re-election time?
I think he'd like to see the public jobs created. You know, we need to be for private sector jobs being created.
Right.
You know, and that's what Republicans have been advocating for. If we wanted to do something big right now, I mean, it's real simple. Let's just put a moratorium on rules and regulations coming out of the departments and the agencies. Let's repeal Obamacare. The economy would boom rapidly if we would just do 2 things. That simple.
Well, I agree with you, but we're probably at a standstill. The president, the Democrats, and some of the big government Republicans think that government spending will produce prosperity. Many of the Republicans, though they haven't always showed it with their votes, but they do with their words, agree with you and me that only private investment will generate prosperity. We know that from the Solyndra nonsense. The government gave that company $500 million. They didn't even care where the money was going because it wasn't theirs. You wouldn't give them that kind of money if you had it. You would only put your money where you're going to get a good return. Question: do enough people in the Congress understand that government spending only produces prosperity for a short period of time for the people on whom it is spent? Only private investing raises all the ships.
I think there's a general consensus, but the American people have got to provide that support and reminders to their congressmen of what the right solution is. And you know what the president's proposed is a sequel to a bad movie. That's all it is. This jobs plan is nothing but what we saw earlier. Stimulus, bailout, buyouts. It didn't work. The unemployment numbers demonstrate that. It's time for something different, and that's why that plan needs to be destroyed and killed and a new plan put forward.
What is it like being a young member of the House of Representatives who seriously believes that that government is best, which governs least, that the people are entitled to a government that stays within the confines of the Constitution, when almost everybody else about you doesn't believe that?
It's you're put in an awkward position at times, but it's a contact sport. You know, we're there to advocate our position. I'm a conservative first, then I'm a Republican, and I advocate my position as best as I can and try to gather some friends around me. You have Justin Amash coming on later, I believe, and he's right there with us, and there's a large group of conservatives doing a great work, and it starts right in the Republican Study Committee with Jim Jordan as the chair.
Next time you're here, I want you to bring the 11-year-old who understands economics better than the President of the United States, Congressman Tom Graves. It's a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Judge.
My next